Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be sharing the Korean edition of the Master of Diabolism, or Madojosa. I was originally not going to post this video now, but I've been having a rough couple days, and I thought it would be more fun to talk about this than try to push myself to finish my other video. Such is life, I guess. Like I promised in my audio drama unboxing, I'm going to spend more time talking about the story itself. It's not going to be a proper review, but just some of my disjointed thoughts. We start with the revival of the main character, wangxian, or Wee Musan in Korean. 13 years ago, in the final days of his previous life, he was the scourge of society because he invented a dangerous practice that most people disagreed with, and he was killed as a result. At first, when I read the premise, I wasn't that hooked because I didn't want to watch what sounded like some villain's redemption story. Within the first few minutes, however, it is so clear that Wei Wuxian is not quite what stories have painted him to be. In his new life, he is reunited with his frenemy, Lan Wangji, or Nam Mangi in Korean, and the two of them uncover an insidious plot that's slowly overtaking their society. I was quickly intrigued by the many mysteries, the cool ghosts and monsters, and the seriously shady characters. The story also frequently alternates between the past and the present, with the past scenes usually clarifying and illuminating a current misconception, which I thought was really interesting. The opening sequence of the live action, for example, starts off with a narration about how presently everyone's happy that Wei Wuxian is dead because he was responsible for the destruction of his clan and whatnot. That's what we're hearing, but the actual scene shows that right before his death, everyone besides Wei Wuxian was killing each other. So what people remember isn't necessarily the whole truth. I also just found it so fascinating how easy it is for hearsay to shape someone's life, but how hard it is to actually clear that up afterward. More so than the plot, which can get confusing and a bit boring at times, the characters are the true highlight for me. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji are incredible. They're presented as sort of foils of each other. Lan Wangji is the beacon of virtue and uprightness, whereas Wei Wuxian is seen as dangerous and a menace. Wei Wuxian, however, is also so funny, loyal, and caring, and as our main character, it's really fun seeing how he grows throughout the story and tries to redeem himself. But I really love Lan Wangji. In the beginning, he believed so strongly in propriety, tradition, and the rules, and I loved seeing him in particular figure out that the world isn't black and white. Despite their clashing personalities, both of them are also fundamentally the same. They believe in justice, and they want to save people, just in totally different ways. These two have spent a lifetime misunderstanding and then finally understanding each other, and being able to witness their devotion to each other makes me weep. The Master of Diabolism is not perfect by any means, and there are aspects that I'm still very critical of, but overall I enjoyed it so much. It's such an intense journey about things like self-worth, war and genocide, duty to one's family, and found family. It's really not all that serious though. There are also a lot of positive thoughts like it's totally okay to do things your own way and make mistakes, and as much as we like to convince ourselves otherwise, it's also okay to put ourselves first. There are also cute rabbits, and they're very important to our main characters. I'm excited that I was able to buy the novel in a language I'm familiar with. My Korean actually isn't that great, even though I'm technically at the intermediate level. As you can imagine, reading this has been challenging. Rather than the novel, I recommend starting off with any of the visual adaptations. You can check out the manhwa, which is licensed in English on Wii Comics and updates weekly. The donghwa is on Wii TV and YouTube, and instead of switching between the past and the present, all of the past events are actually shown first. The English title for the donghua is The Founder of Diabolism, whereas for the manhwa, it's The Master of Diabolism. Definitely confusing. If you want a completed story, you have to check out the live-action adaptation, The Untamed. It has somewhat of an original plot, but it's just as good. I don't know if it's sacrilegious to say this, but I think I actually preferred some of the characterizations in the live action. I watched it on Netflix, but you can also watch it on Viki, YouTube, WeTV, and even Amazon. Now that I'm here, I wonder why this series has such a vice grip on my life, but I don't really mind. At a time in my life when I felt stuck and wasn't reading, or consuming anything really, I was introduced to this series. Because I enjoyed it so much, in a way it felt like I was finally moving forward. And what I mean by that is, I think had I not checked out The Master of Diabolism, I probably wouldn't have started reading manga again anytime soon, which I think is a little funny to think about. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. It feels like I'm slowly turning into an unboxing channel, which I don't have a problem with since I'm having fun, but I promise there will be manga videos coming up soon. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and if today isn't that good, I hope tomorrow is at least a little better. See you next time.